Hi everyone, it's Annalise again coming to you today from Tokyo. I don't have a lot of news to share because I've been on a bit of a news embargo myself. I am on a writing retreat, getting some work done on my book. More news for you all on that very soon. But I did think I was going to share maybe just one thought about a book that a lot of us have been reading lately, which is Ezra Klein and Derek Thompson's book, Abundance. It's been in the news a lot lately. If you know this book, I was thinking about it here in Tokyo because it begins with this very techno-futurist utopian vision of what America could be like in 25 years. And it has great transportation, really carbon zero energy systems, cheap, plentiful energy. And I was thinking, as I was reading all this, this about how wonderful life could be in the future in America if we followed the author's policy proposals, that the vision they're presenting is really a lot like present day Japan. On a lot of the buildings you see behind me, the top floor is giant trees that are growing and putting oxygen back into the atmosphere, reducing the building's carbon footprints. Down below, you see trains that are just of the latest, most modern kind, constantly rebuilding the infrastructure for transportation. You can go anywhere cheaply, safely, cleanly. You can travel from one side of Japan to the other with just a little digital card that you just flash above a machine, never touch a thing to get from one place to the other. It's safe at night for a woman to walk alone because there are cameras everywhere, including in every single car, so that if something ever were to happen, they can just pull in the video from all the cars that happen to be driving by at that moment because they can capture all their license plate numbers on other cameras. It's a kind of utopian vision of the kind that the authors imagine. And it is wonderful in many ways, especially if you have money here in Tokyo. But there's a lot of downsides to this world that I just want to bring to the attention of readers of Abundance. If you go not too far outside of the city, you find a lot of poverty. A lot of 85 or even 90-year-old women who are working in convenience stores at 10 o'clock at night because they need just a few more yen to feed themselves. A lot of people who, have no hope for their future really, in terms of, getting ahead compared to where their parents were. An immigration system that would make MAGA folks just have a fantasy. I, as the spouse of a Japanese citizen, am allowed to stay in the country only so long as my husband is physically here in the country. And the minute he gets on a plane and leaves, I don't have that kind of permanent visa anymore. So that gives you an example. If we were to get separated, my son could stay here, but I would be on the next plane out. And that's not so bad for me, but imagine all of the mail order brides who are marrying men in the countryside because there aren't enough women to go around, because of the low birth rates and the fact that people have made choices to choose to have sons over daughters. And they're here as immigrants in very precarious situations, isolated in these families where at a moment's notice, they can be sent home and sent away. So I guess my reaction to Abundance is to say, yes, technology is wonderful. And it is lovely living in the kind of world that book envisions. But human beings have a remarkable ability to make one another miserable and to continue to exploit one another and create inequality, even when the technology is there. And so perhaps we need a more moral vision of abundance, not just a technological one, like the authors suggest. And I read another book recently that many of you have probably read, Robin Wall Kimmerer's book, The Serviceberry, and that presents exactly that kind of more spiritual or moral vision of what abundance can be than just a technological one. Anyway, what can I offer you on the fun side? Well, the big news here in Tokyo today is that a spirit medium that everybody follows very closely has declared that as of midnight today, the country, listen to this, will be no more. The idea is that there's going to be a giant earthquake. It's going to be so disruptive. She says that she saw her own death, her own grave. She apparently has been right before, and everyone is taking this very seriously. I mean, joking a little bit, but it's on the front page of all the newspapers. Everyone's talking about, is this the end of Japan? So if this is the last video you ever get from me, you will know why. The medium was right. Hopefully not. Hope to see you next week. Take care. Bye.